Welcome back to Investing Talk podcast. Today we're taking a close look at the recent activity surrounding quantum computing and also the broader implications of President Trump's Middle East deals on the quantum computing sector.
Yes, there's some really interesting reports out.
Absolutely. We've got them here, and we're going to try and unpack what it all means for you. Our mission is always to cut through the noise and get to the core insights. Okay, let's get into it. Quantum computing, they've been in the news quite a bit.
They have, and there are really two main things to look at here, I think.
No one.
First, you've got the company itself, quantum computing, its performance, its future. And second, these big external factors, especially those recent agreements in the Middle East, injecting a whole lot of investment into the quantum space generally.
Right. Let's start with the company itself then. Quantum computing, their recent Q1 2025 financials. Well, they showed a really unexpected jump, didn't they? A net income of $17 million.
That says $2.13 per share, yeah. It's quite a turnaround from the $6.4 million loss they posted in Q1 last year. A big swing.
A huge swing. But here's the slightly confusing part. That income came on revenue of only $39,000, which was way below their own forecast of $300,000. So how do you square that circle? Profit up, revenue way down.
That's the critical question, isn't it? While that positive net income looks great on the surface, grabbed headlines,
Are sure?
the revenue miss is significant. It suggests their main business, their core operations, maybe aren't scaling as fast as hoped.
So where did the profit come from then?
Well, it could be from other things, maybe strategic investments paying off, perhaps asset sales, something not directly tied to selling their quantum services or products yet.
Okay.
That surprising profit might be masking a bit of a stall in core revenue growth. The year-over-year revenue growth, about 44%, sounds okay in isolation, but for a tech company in a sector hyped for massive growth, it's actually quite modest.
And the reports mentioned their focus integrated photonics, quantum optics. They want to develop accessible quantum machines, even something called an entropy quantum computer. Can you break that down a bit?
Sure. So integrated photonics basically means they're trying to build quantum computers using light particles, photons, instead of the more traditional electronic components you find in current computers or even some other quantum approaches.
Using light. Why?
The idea is that light could potentially allow for faster calculations and maybe less sensitivity to noise or interference, which is a huge problem in quantum computing. It could lead to more efficient, maybe even easier to use systems down the line.
And the entropy quantum computer part.
That sounds like maybe a more theoretical, innovative approach,
Yeah.
perhaps trying to simplify the incredibly complex software side of quantum computing by leveraging concepts related to entropy. It fits with their overall theme of making quantum more accessible, potentially easier to program or manage.
Okay, accessible seems key. Now looking at the stock, wow, what a ride.
Definitely.
A 52-week range from just 36 cents up to $27.15. That is massive. And a high beta too, 3.75. High volatility signal right there.
Absolutely. That beta confirms that the stock price moves much more dramatically than the overall market, nearly 4 times as much on average.
And we saw that recently, didn't we? A surge over 8% just on May 15th after those earnings came out.
Exactly. Even with the revenue miss, that positive bottom line was enough to get investors excited. It really shows how sensitive the market is to any positive financial news in this space.
And the one-year return is, well, it's staggering. Over 1,000%. 1,019% to be precise.
Incredible numbers.
Yeah.
But you have to remember the starting point was very low, and it reflects the highly speculative nature of this whole sector. It's been a roller coaster.
Analysts seem pretty keen, though. The reports mention a strong buy rating with a $14 price target that suggests quite a bit of potential upside from where it's trading now.
It does. That reflects optimism about their underlying technology, their approach, and the potential of the quantum market overall.
There's always a but, isn't there? The reports also flag weaknesses, like a trailing 12-month net loss of over $68 million and earnings per share of negative $0.73.
Right. And that's the balance you have to strike. The optimism is there, the potential, but the actual financial track record shows significant losses and very low current revenue.
So a classic high-risk, high-reward scenario. Is that strong buy maybe a bit premature given the revenue situation?
You could certainly argue that. It's very much an investment based on future potential rather than current performance. They have innovative tech in a field everyone agrees is important, but they still need to prove they can turn that tech into real sustainable revenue and profit. It's speculative.
What about their future plans? They're looking at a second fabrication facility, expanding sales.
Yes, building out capacity.
Yeah.
They mentioned expecting some modest revenue from new foundry services this year, 2025, with hopes for growth to pick up more in 2026.
And competition. IBM, Quantum, Rigetti Computing, D-Wave Systems, those are big names. How does quantum computing plan to compete?
It seems to come back to that accessibility point. If they can genuinely make quantum systems easier to use, easier to integrate, that could be their differentiator. The photonics approach itself might also offer unique advantages in scalability or cost eventually, but that's still somewhat unproven at scale.
Okay, so that's the picture for quantum computing itself, navigating this exciting but clearly volatile space. Now let's zoom out. You mentioned external factors, particularly these Middle East deals. There's a huge one highlighted in the reports.
Yes, a landmark agreement, a $1 billion investment from Qatar's Al Raban Capital straight into Quantinuum.
Quantinuum, that's Honeywell's quantum subsidiary, right?
That's the one. And the investment is specifically for quantum technology and workforce development, importantly in the U.S. There's even talk of a potential joint venture, maybe another $1 billion over the next decade.
Wow, $1 billion just like that into one quantum player? That's serious capital.
It's a very strong signal. It shows significant global interest, particularly from sovereign wealth funds, in getting exposure to quantum's potential.
What's the focus of this specific Qatar Quantinuum venture?
It seems quite targeted, developing practical quantum applications, things like discovering new materials, improving precision technologies, genomics research, and financial services modeling, and tailored for regional needs too.
So less about fundamental research, more about applying it.
Exactly. It signals a shift towards using quantum computing to solve real-world problems in specific industries. That kind of focused investment can really speed things up.
And Honeywell, the parent company, must be pleased. Although, interestingly, their stock didn't jump massively on the news, did it? It saw a slight dip, actually.
Yeah, a small decline, about 0.6%. It might seem counterintuitive.
Why do you think that was?
Well, a few things could be at play. Honeywell is a massive, diversified industrial company. Quantinuum, while important and potentially very valuable, is still just one part of their overall business.
Right. It doesn't move the needle for the whole giant corporation immediately.
Possibly not in a huge way, day to day. Also, the market might have already anticipated positive developments for Quantinuum, especially with talk of a potential IPO in 2025 or 2026 maybe being priced in. And, broader market conditions on that specific day always play a role.
Okay. But here's something really interesting. Rigetti Computing, a competitor not involved in this deal at all, their stock surged 18% after the Quantinuum announcement.
That's right. And it perfectly illustrates a key point about these emerging tech sectors.
A rising tide lifts all boats.
Sort of, yeah. A major investment like the Qatar Quantinuum deal acts as validation for the entire quantum computing field. It tells the market, look, serious money's flowing in, this technology is seen as strategically important. That boosts confidence across the board, benefiting related companies like Rigetti.
And an analyst even upgraded Rigetti after that news.
Richard Shannon, yes, raised the price target to $14, kept a buy rating. It reinforces that positive sentiment spilling over.
This Quantinuum deal seems to be part of a much bigger picture, too, connected to President Trump's recent Middle East tour. The reports mention staggering numbers.
They do. Over $2 trillion in potential deals discussed across defense, aviation, AI, during visits to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE.
Qatar alone committed over $243 billion initially, with plans aiming for $1.2 trillion. And the UAE announced over $200 billion in commercial deals, including AI infrastructure, and a $1.4 trillion investment in the U.S. economy over 10 years.
The scale is immense. And while these are often framework agreements or long-term commitments, the direction of travel is clear. Significant capital from the region flowing into advanced technology sectors.
What's driving this huge push right now, do you think, beyond just quantum?
It's likely a strategic move for economic diversification for these nations. They see the writing on the wall regarding long-term reliance on fossil fuels and are positioning themselves to be major players in the next generation of technology, AI, quantum, advanced materials, biotech. Investing abroad, particularly in the U.S. tech ecosystem, is a key part of that strategy.
And the market is noticing these broader flows, too.
Seems like it. Gains were seen in big U.S. tech names like NVIDIA, Alphabet, Amazon around these announcements.
Right.
And look at supermicro computers. Surged nearly 31% after a $20 billion collaboration was announced with Saudi Arabia's DataVolt. That's a direct link.
Okay, so huge investments, sector validation, positive market reactions. But the reports also throw in a note of caution. AI and quantum stocks are apparently among the most shorted on Wall Street.
Yes. And that's the other side of the coin. It highlights the speculative bubble aspect.
A contradiction. Lots of investment, but also lots of bets against these stocks.
It reflects the uncertainty. There's huge potential, yes. There's massive investment flowing in, yes. But there's also skepticism about current valuations, about how long it will really take for these technologies to become commercially viable and profitable on a large scale, and which specific companies will be the winners.
So some investors are betting that the hype has gotten ahead of reality.
Essentially, yes. The high short interest means a significant number of market participants believe prices might come down. It underscores the risk. So this brings up a key question for you as an investor. How do you balance that incredible long-term potential against these very real near-term risks and volatility?
Right. Let's try and connect those dots then. What does all this mean for you, the listener, trying to make sense of it?
Okay, well, first, looking at quantum computing specifically, their surprise profit highlights that even companies struggling with revenue might have potential, especially if they're focused on a key area like making quantum more accessible. But you absolutely have to look past the headline profit to the underlying revenue challenges.
Okay, point one.
Second, the huge Quantinuum investment from Qatar is a major validation. It shows serious global money backing quantum's future, moving towards practical applications. This isn't just academic anymore.
Got it. Big money flowing in.
Third, Rigetti's stock jump shows how good news for one player can lift others in the sector. Positive sentiment matters, even if your specific company wasn't in the deal. It suggests the sector moves together to some extent.
Sector-wide impact.
Makes sense.
Fourth, the broader Middle East investment trend is huge. It signals a massive global push into advanced tech like AI and quantum, which could create tailwinds for growth for years to come. This is a long-term shift.
The bigger picture context.
But fifth, and crucially, remember that high short interest? It's a reminder that these are still highly speculative, volatile investments. The path forward isn't guaranteed for any single company.
So potential and risk walk hand in hand here.
Very much so.
So wrapping this up then. While a company like quantum computing offers an interesting, maybe intriguing story with that recent financial surprise, and the whole quantum sector is definitely getting a boost from these major international investments, it seems absolutely critical to weigh that high growth potential against the very real risks and the volatility we've discussed. Absolutely. You need to go in with your eyes open.
Hopefully the information we've unpacked today gives you a solid foundation to understand these developments better. We definitely encourage you to do more research, tailored to your own investment goals and how much risk you're comfortable with.
That's the key. Your own research, your own tolerance.
And hey, if you found this discussion insightful, please don't forget to subscribe, like this, and maybe leave a comment.
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. What do you think about the future of quantum computing investments? Is the potential worth the risk right now? Let us know.